excited to showcase the diverse stories and perspectives of the incredible people that we work with through this culture series. We share these stories with the hope of opening a window into the lives of people from numerous backgrounds to create more of a sense of belonging within our community for those who may or may not share similar experiences. My name is Leonela Save. Join me as we learn about what resiliency and personal culture look like through the lens of our guest. Welcome to our culture series. How are you today?
Good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
No, thank you so much for being here. Janelle, I am so happy you're here. We know each other for a while now, but for those who don't know you, could you talk a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name's Yaneli Gonzalez. I recently got married 5 months ago. So I'm in the
Congratulations.
process. Thank you. I will be in the process of changing my last name. Um, I am a Spanish interpreter.
Okay,
I
so what would your new last name be?
Bastida.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I where okay. I'm a Spanish interpreter here at Luna. I've been working for Luna for a little over 3 years now. I started as a coordinator, but I have been in the accounting department now for 2 years, which has been a big change, but it's change is always good. And I am a lot of people don't believe me this, but I'm a very shy person until you get to know me. I really am. Yes, I get shy. I'm a nervous person, so I don't do well with public speaking. It's one of my biggest fears.
You're doing great.
Yeah.
No, you're doing great. You're just being yourself, which is what we love, right? So now you said you were used to be a Spanish interpreter. So is Spanish your native language?
Yes. I'm not. I didn't used to be. I'm still a Spanish
Oh,
interpreter.
you're still a Spanish interpreter. Okay,
I
great.
do Spanish interpreting with Luna. Only medical though. I've never been interested in the court. I don't have interest, and I don't think I'm ever gonna have interest.
So that everyone knows. So if Spanish is your native language, where are you from then? Were you born here in the States?
I was not. I am originally from Michoacan, Mexico. I came here to the U.S. when I was 7. Not necessarily came. I was brought here when I was 7 years old.
Oh, can you explain a little bit more about that? Can you tell us?
Yeah. So, well, all of my family is here now, except for my great grandma who is still in Mexico. So the only one that goes back and forth is my grandma. But all my uncles, all my family, aunts, everybody, they came here to the US prior to me. And my mom came here just like all all people that come from other countries looking for a better life and providing a better life for their children. But I did not have interest in coming here. So I actually stayed a full year still with my grandparents in Mexico. And then my mom had requested for me to come here. So I was brought here, but I did not necessarily have the same experience a lot of immigrants have, which is crossing the desert or any bad experience. I all I recall is coming by car, but I don't have any bad memories or traumatizing experiences. It was smooth sailing for me, so very blessed about that.
Yeah. And when you were here in the United States and you started living here, did you face any challenges adapting to the
Yes,
culture or the
yes.
society?
I didn't start school right away. I think maybe it was because it was in the middle, so I had to wait till the New Year's. I don't remember, but I started school in the fourth grade. And the biggest challenge obviously was language for me. I adapted fast though. I think at a younger age you learn the language a lot easier. I've been trying to learn Portuguese and it's not going well, and I don't think I'm not gonna get a grip of it. But back then I remember that I learned the language fairly fast. Other than that, it was just at a young age, it was, for example, in Mexico, I had to wear a uniform, whereas to coming here in a public school, you pretty much wear whatever you want. And I guess another challenge is for me, it was I felt like a sense of growing up faster coming here to the US. I guess because I came from such a little town from Michoacan. It's called Venta de Bravo, and it's so small that I guess you're a kid, and there's no I guess here there's a lot of bullying, a lot of I don't know those things that a lot of people have here. I didn't experience that in Mexico, but I started seeing that here. People would judge me by my clothes, but what I did, which is something that I didn't experience in Mexico. So I guess that was my biggest shock that I had to, in a sense, grow up a little bit faster than I felt back in Mexico.
How did that make you feel? Did it take you a while to adapt to that?
Um, I honestly can't remember. I'm not sure. We came from such a humble family. I guess I would say that even if I wanted to do something about my clothes, I couldn't because it's not like we had the funds to do it. And it's funny because as a kid, when my mom was over here and I was still living with my grandparents, I had the sense of, my parents are in the United States, this country everyone talks about, where, it's, I guess when I came here, I was expecting my mom to have like this big house and, making it big because that's what they come here to do. And when I got here, it was like another shock. My mom was living in a small apartment. So as a kid, I was like, oh, so it's not what we picture back there. It's not everyone over there thinks that whoever's over here has a lot of money, is making it big. But no, it's kind of the same. You're just working for a living.
Yeah, that is true. That is completely true. And also the movies don't help.
No.
Yeah. Janelle, and as you grew older, did you start realizing that you face other challenges?
Oh yes, yes. As I got older, I started to know that I I had a sense of not belonging. Let me explain a little bit. So, um, to go to college as I was growing up, I had to face a lot of challenges because I didn't have the proper documentation to go. So I didn't start college right away. To get a job, it was also hard because I don't have documents, so I couldn't get a job, get a license. The very small things that people here maybe don't acknowledge were very big. How would I say, like, challenges for me. I could not have access to that. Luckily, in 2012, I believe, when Obama was in office, he introduced a program called DACA, which pretty much benefited me and millions of other immigrants to have the opportunity to take advantage of those small things that for us were huge. When I got my license, I was so happy. Working with my name and being myself, Yaneli Gonzalez, was huge to me. And going to college, all these things that my peers were, I don't know, I felt like they had this in their palm of their hands and they were not taking advantage of it. And to me, DACA has been the biggest blessing being here in the US.
And for those who don't know what DACA is, could you explain a little bit more in detail what DACA is about?
DACA is a program that basically gives you a permit to work and gives you a social security number. With that, you pretty much can do anything. But however, it's not like it's available for all immigrants here in the US. Back then there were certain guidelines that you had to have. I believe you had to be here from a certain year. I think it was 2007. and you had to be 16 years or younger. If you were not here by those guidelines, or if you were even 17, you were not able to get it. And then the biggest thing is it's not a set program. It's a temporary program, which you have to renew every 2 years. And every 2 years, you have to get your fingerprints, your background check. Pretty much, you have to like be a very, very, very good person. Otherwise, if let's say in 2 years you want to renew and something comes up in your record, then you could get denied. So there's always this sense, for my case, and I'm pretty sure it's for all DACA recipients, there's this sense of fear, because even though we have something that gives us security, it gives us temporary security because it's not set on stone and everything. So last year, for example, it was like a a fear year for me, besides because of COVID, is because they were talking about taking the program away, which means I would have lost my job, my right to drive. Pretty much, I would not be able to be. Yeah, and it currently still like that. It's a temporary program, but we're hoping, and there's a lot of programs that can help for us to get this program to be permanent and give us a path of citizenship, so we no longer have to have this fear.
Yeah. I was going to ask, what is the current status of the DACA program? But I think you should answer that question. I've been seeing a lot of information on the news about it and how there's a proposal to provide a path towards citizenship for DACA recipients. Do you have any remarks, or do you have a message for those people out there that might hesitate because maybe they don't understand the population of immigrants that this program is providing a benefit to, or maybe disagree with it, or maybe, fully support it, but still don't fully know what to do, but how to really support this proposal?
I mean, I think the biggest thing is it's people that, like I mentioned, we have to have our background checks every 2 years. We have to get fingerprints taken. So it's a program that's structured for, I don't want to say good people, but like, we're not committing crimes. We're not doing all these things. We're good people who just want to work, make a living for our families, and just, survive pretty much. So I think that's the biggest thing, and it's a misconception that it's just given to anybody. It's not. It's just people like me that want to work, make a living, have a family. That's the biggest thing. And the main thing you could do is, there's a lot of resources just by going to Google to help, writing a letter. It's right now, it's in the process of hopefully making a path, because the current president wants to do that. So, God wants, it'll pass, and that's what we hope for.
Yeah, definitely, Yaneli. And I kind of struggle to ask this question because it sounds like a stupid question, but for many people, it is a legitimate question. And I was thinking, should I ask her, do you feel that the United States is your home? Because to me, well, obviously, of course, this is where she lives. But
Right.
also, you have a Mexican background and you were born in Mexico. So, what is Yaneli's home? How does Yaneli feel those two countries?
This is my home. Coming here at a young age, I had to adapt here. I mean, being 7 years old till now that I'm 27, it's all I know. If I was to go back to Mexico, to my little town, I don't know anyone but my great grandma. And now and then my mom will talk to me and be like, this person on Facebook or something. And she's like, you don't remember her? She used to take care of you. And I'm like, I don't. So if I was to go to Mexico, I literally would not know anybody. I would not know how to navigate or anything, because what I know is here, and that's it. And which is also a point I want to make about DACA recipients, that a lot of them are people that came here at a young age, and taking away the program would make all of us vulnerable to going back to a country where we don't know. We grew up here,
Exactly.
so this is our home.
And you talk about you've had to adapt here, and you've mentioned quite a few examples of that and how that made you feel, and the safety that you felt after becoming a DACA recipient. Because we all know that you said it, driver's license, the possibility of going to school, the possibility of working, and those are really vital things in your life. But also, there's another aspect, which is your culture, your identity.
Mhm.
How would you describe your cultural identity now? How do you combine your Mexican portion of yourself and heritage and your family with your life here and the American traditions and the home that you know and love, right? How do you do that?
It's hard. It's really hard. As a whole family, my family, I feel like we've lost those traditions, which was a shock to me too when I came here. Like for example, just during New Year's and Christmas, and that time over there in Mexico is so big and so precious to us, that coming here to the U.S., there was a sense of losing those traditions, because we grew accustomed to Santa, to what's known here. What actually a lot of my uncles and aunts do or try to do is they try to go to Mexico during those times, because there's a sense of feeling here that it's just for the gifts, and it's very, not sure, very routine like, it's
But
Christmas, buy
what
gifts.
is the difference so that we can picture it? You're talking about Christmas, right? Right. So gifts and Santa supposed to, or in complement of.
Well, back there in my little town, and a lot of little towns in Mexico, what they do is they have big parties, but not in the house. It's pretty much in the street. And it's a sense of communities getting together. There'll be like little posts with food. It's kind of a sense like when the fair comes here in the summer, but in Christmas. And there's a sense of actually celebrating Christmas for us, as a Catholic. There was a sense of actually celebrating the birth of Christ, and as a community, not just with your family, like the whole community getting together and partying and having fun, laughter, and it is just amazing. Where here we do get together, but it's very family. It's
Mhm.
family, and then you buy the gifts, and then you open them, and it's a great time too. But like not that feeling of being in your
You know
little.
what we can do? We can just get the presents and then go to Mexico and have both.
Very great.
Yes, definitely. Both, best of both worlds.
Yes.
What is something you admire about the United States that you really love?
What I love here is that you have opportunities. Um, and then you can grow from them. Um, Being here, I have a feeling of a sense that I have become a person that otherwise I might have not become, back home. I learned a new language. I know English, and as a matter of fact, I don't think I would have. I don't know. I don't know what would have been my life, but the opportunities that I've been offered here, are very great, and I can grow as a person. Um, when you grow up in a little town, I feel like everyone stays there unless you actually make something out of you. Um, I grew up with a very humble family. We didn't have a lot. We didn't have what we have here.
Mhm.
Um, so there's opportunities to grow, professionally, and I think that's something that everyone that comes from another country comes to get. And I feel like having documentation now, I can take advantage of that. Whereas to maybe if I didn't, I would be just working and again making just that living.
Yeah, that is true. And do you feel like within those opportunities that you've been given and that you've been able to take, has there been an opportunity to express or bring your culture to others, for example, at the workplace? Have you been able to do that?
Not a whole lot, but food wise, we try. If I go out with a coworker, we go grab Mexican food. I tell them this is not real Mexican food. Feel like if my mom was here, I'm originally from Illinois. I moved to Indiana about 5 years ago. But if my mom was here, I feel like I could be bringing my mom's meals and they would love them. I have a few friends that have like Victor, who is our manager at coordinating here. He has tried my mom's food and he loves it. So I feel like I could bring a lot more. I share my story, my personal story with the whole staff, so they got a sense of also some traditions and some things that we do as in my family as Mexicans. And some of my coworkers did go to my wedding this past September, and I feel like they were also able to see some of the traditions that not not a lot of people here at their weddings, but at the weddings from where I'm from. So I feel like they are taking in what Yaneli is as a Mexican.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I remember because Janelli shared her story at the staff meeting at Luna Language Services. Every time we come together as a staff, we have staff meeting, and one person of our team member shares what we call their life story or their culture story or whatever they feel like sharing about themselves and their family and their heritage. And she's talking about that. And I remember when you shared your, I was like crying and I learned so much. I enjoyed it so much. Even though I'm Latin American, I'm from Venezuela, I discover a whole new world of Mexico and your family and your traditions and your story. And I think you have accomplished that. You have been able to bring your culture through that. And
Thank you.
I'm sure everyone did enjoy it too. Yes. Well, Janelle, is there something that you would like to share with us that is meaningful to you, that is representative of your culture, that you would like to let us know about?
I brought some pictures and I could bring so many pictures. I love taking pictures and I love remembering and looking back. So if I could have brought a million pictures, I would have. But I grabbed what I could and was not on my phone. I have this picture right here. There's a glare. This is my grandpa. Well, that's my grandpa, my grandma, and then my little brother and me, and then my cousin. Which is when I was talking about earlier that I stayed in Mexico. So for me, my grandparents, I call them ma and pa, which means mom and dad. That's very significant to me because it makes me remember life back then. This is a picture of me dancing. So what I missed a lot growing up is that for school we had dance presentations. So this was for school. And here we don't have that. And I love doing the dances. I loved it. I have so many pictures of these. Also, I'm gonna brag. I was very, very, very smart in Mexico. I was very, very smart. I told my mom if she wouldn't have brought me here, I probably could have been president or a doctor. I
But
don't
you're
know.
smart enough too. Just to
I mean,
clarify, people.
I feel like I was smarter back then. But getting to it's a marcha. So we go like from point A to point B and we're just marching. But holding the flag is a very big deal. So this makes me very proud when I see this picture being at such young age. I got to hold the flag and whoever holds the flag in the march is, they're the
Very
they're the
important.
and then lastly is just a picture back then with my mom and then my little brother. which is just my whole life, my entire life in a picture. And I remember certain things about Mexico, and these pictures, I can tell you, they're not just here in photographs, they're engraved in my brain, and just remembering my life back then, so I don't forget where I came from, and wishing to go back, especially because I really want to see my great grandma again, turning 98, I believe 98. I'm not.
88. Wow. Is she still living in the hometown you were born?
Yeah.
Do you
So,
think you will be able to visit her soon?
oh, I really, really, really wish. I hope our president can make that DACA program go to a path of citizenship, so I can take the opportunity just to go see her, see if she remembers me.
Now, I'm sure you will. I am sure you will. I think good things are coming. I think good things are.
Hoping for.
Well, thank you so much, Yaneli, for being here with us today, for sharing your time, for sharing your life with us. We wish all the success in the world for you. You are a beautiful person.
Thank you
And
so
is there anything you would like to say to our audience as a goodbye?
um just anything like
Just anything. It could be in English, Spanish, it could be, anything you like. Just thank
uh,
you to our viewers.
gracias por escuchar mi historia, conocerme un poquito. Les deseo a todos lo mejor del mundo y bendiciones. Y si quieren saber más de mí, solamente mándenme un mensaje.
Yaneli, te queremos mucho.
Thank
Thank
you.
you everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time.